So, anyways, I ate something that made me. I'm just getting up, and I'm so symptomatic. Like when I wake up, I have no idea how I'm gonna feel, and I have no idea what my symptoms are gonna be like, and I have no idea whether I can even talk or not. Honestly, I turn the camera on, I start talking, and I'm noticing all the symptoms. Like I'm starting to talk, and the tinnitus is getting worse, and like not static, but something going on in both my ears. I think my sinuses are drying out. I can't talk and breathe normal. I literally, when I come out of the bedroom and I turn the camera on. If I start talking, I, I don't know if I can talk or not. I can't even tell if my head's working, like if I can think straight. So, I mean, it was good to get to bed earlier, but I went to bed at 12:30 in the morning, which is great, instead of 4 o'clock or 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning. But and when I feel like that, when I eat something wrong and I'm blacking out from it, I feel like I'm gonna sleep. I feel like I'm gonna sleep and sleep and sleep. I slept 2 hours, and then I'm awake. And that happened a few times. Well, that's what usually happens. I usually sleep for 1 or 2 hours, and I wake up. And it's so disappointing. And so I wake up 2 hours later, and I'm up for a while. And then I sleep for 2 hours, and then I'm up for a couple hours. I'm up at 6 o'clock, wide awake. I'm up at 8 o'clock, wide awake. But I know I'm so dead tired. So I lay there and I lay there, and then 9 o'clock happens, and then eventually I cover my clock up, and I'm trying and trying to force myself to fall asleep because I know I'm so sleep deprived. And then I slept some more, and then it's like 1:30 in the afternoon, which is disappointing. And oh God, I can't believe how terrible I feel. You know, I need some quality of life, you know? I need to this can't go on like this. Like just survival and isolation and no quality of life. This can't go on. It's a marathon of survival, and this has been going on. This has been going on like more than 15 years. And it's less and less quality of life. And I'm just living survival, and when, you know, it's just a battle to keep going. And there's nothing good coming in anymore, like how long can you do that? And you're tortured to the point where there's nothing left of you. You don't even know who you are anymore. And people think that whatever is left of you, that's who you are. And who you are, when you're being tortured and isolated and traumatized, that's not who you really are. Like, all the good parts of you, all the good stuff in you is literally been being tortured out of you, or it can't be seen. All the everything that makes you good and unique, and why people used to like you, is like beaten out of you. And this is who you are when you're being tortured and traumatized, is not who you are, you know? Like, what's left and visible is not who you really are. You know what I mean? Like, do you understand what I mean? And if you think that you can't be tortured, have well, I was going to say have the goodness tortured out of you. But I don't know if that's correct. Maybe the goodness just doesn't have an opportunity to shine, or you know like, let's say you're really generous, and throughout your whole life you're generous, or you're really understanding of people, or you're the first person who will step up to help when someone needs help. Like, none of that shows when you're in a state of just nonstop desperation or torture or severe sleep deprivation and fear. You know what I mean? Like I sort of resent well, I don't know if resent is the right word. Like, what's left of me doesn't show who I am. You know what I mean? Or people just seeing me on camera and talking about this ongoing medical crap. Like, I feel like this whole experience has just tortured everything out of me. But probably not, because probably if I was around people and socializing and back and forth, visiting back and forth and hanging out and having fun with people, eventually the real side of you is going to come out again, the lighthearted fun side, or nice side, or good side. But I feel like I'm just being tortured, and no one can see who I really am. And if you don't survive, you don't want people to remember just like the scraps of you that were left. You know what I mean? There's good. Like, I can't keep on going. I can't keep living with no quality of life. You know? Like, I'm so isolated. I can only get a few blocks away. There's a few shops or restaurants or whatever, a grocery store, a drugstore that I can get to. But like, I'm not. you get, I've lost my vehicle. How do you obtain a quality of life when you're so tired, when you're so symptomatic, uh, when you're weak, when you're muscle wasting? How do you, like I've lost everybody. I've lost my car. I've lost all social contacts. But I'm a human being. I can't keep living like this. I can't keep living without, you know, human contact, without socializing, without family, without friends. Like what I might have a half decent day today once I wake up. It's late, which that makes me sad. Once I wake up, I might have a half decent day, but you know what? I can't go anywhere. There's no one I can call. And how is any of that going to change? I need to make money somehow. I need more money coming in. How's that going to change? Like the day before, I had some sleep last night. It was broken sleep. I was laying in the bed in the dark for hours on and off, you know, trying to make myself fall asleep again. But I did have some sleep last night. But the night before, I had 3.5 hours of sleep. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to lose this battle, and I don't want to disappoint people. I don't want to disappoint the people who have followed me online and on on social media, and I don't want to lose this battle. I don't want to disappoint the strangers out there who were hoping I'd survive. I really wanted to see you know, if someone could survive weaning off of these medications, being on benzos for 40 years daily. I wanted to know, can someone really survive that? And yeah, you can. But I think often in the end, you know, I see people giving up after 7, 8, 9 years. In the end, I think they're giving up not because they're so symptomatic, but because of the loss. They've lost just about everything. They're at a standstill like this, like everything's gone. But this is not my story. That's just only part of my story. My story is this battle with the healthcare system, being misdiagnosed, having health issues that were misdiagnosed for 40 years. Like my family, finding out I really don't have a family, my family not sticking by me, not willing to fight for my life. The betrayal of healthcare providers. I'm laying in bed last night thinking, gosh, like I've got a couple seconds left here before the video ends, but I don't know, God, it's been such a hard battle that you don't want to give up because they don't deserve to win. But how in the hell do you stay in here? How do you keep going when there's nothing good coming in and you're doing nothing but surviving?